I'm gone a lot, and I want them to be extremely tight. And two, probably the unfortunate reality is I'm going to be gone, and they're only going to have each other effectively. If I do this right, like I know sometimes, especially in the military, dads bury their sons, right? I want my kids to bury me later on in life with the hope that they have the four of them. They can handle anything thrown their way. Obviously, they're going to grow up and grow apart and have families and things like that. But their blood, their siblings, and I want them to be as close as possible because the world doesn't care about what you're going through. They don't care that your brothers and sisters or you had a good upbringing or from a Marine family. Like the world does not care. And so if they have something they can fall back on, their brother and sister, that's a safe haven, so to say. I mean, I'm working on that every single day because I feel later on in life, it's only gonna be a matter of time before an occasion happens. They're going to parties as kids in college, etc. Bad things are going to happen. And if mom and dad aren't there for whatever reason, they have three other people they can fall back on to help make decisions.
That's such a great clarifying distinction, especially with children. Like my son, I told my son, your sister is going to be the most important person in your life for the first 18 years of your life, besides your mom and dad, because your sibling is one of the few people that you will have a intentional relationship for the rest of your life with. And that, like you said, they're a safe haven. So like one of the things that we do to foster that is like when we go out to eat, we make them sit at their own table. And so they're sitting there together and they're just chatting and this little two-person little table right next to ours, and but they're in their own table, so they're doing their own thing, and that fosters that. But yeah, I love that, man, because that's it's so important to be intentional with that, because if we don't, then you have kids that fight and bicker and they're always at each other's throats, and like that you can see long-term effects from that. So it's definitely great that you're doing that. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, siblings are gonna, especially mine, are so close. Like they're gonna butt heads. They're gonna fight and want the toy that the other one wants, etc. My boys are in football right now. They love sports. It's something big in my world, so it's got passed on to them. Anytime they bicker, anytime they fight, I make two of them go against me, and the only way they win is if they use teamwork to effectively beat me. If they go one versus one, they lose every single time. But if they go two versus one, I'll let them win, and they hopefully probably recognize later on in life that well, the only way we won, we beat Dad, who's five times bigger than them, is because we used teamwork. It wasn't me, Jet. It wasn't
Mhm.
me, Bear. It was both of us because two is stronger than one. So, but that
Yeah.
thought on the dinner itself, like you're putting them in situations where almost you're forcing the environment, but the conversations in the relationship, like that's up to them to do. So, um, being intentional with the environment and situations, I mean, that's how you do it. And the rest, it naturally happens. Because the last thing you want is later in life, the kids are like, dad did this on purpose, right? No, like you create the environment, but they create the reactions and the opinions and
Yeah.
everything else. Like that's the indirect way to do it. I love that.
Right. That's kind of why I asked about family values too, because in the same way, you build esprit de corps in the military and kind of that unit identity and pride and everything. You do the same thing with your family, right? Like, so, I talk a lot with, I have one daughter, I talk a lot about how like, Hayworths are brave and Hayworths are kind and respectful and we do the right thing and we work hard. And, that's just like, that's who we are. And she buys into that identity. And that's the stuff that she's going to believe about herself as we go on later in life, and she goes off on her own. So everything you're saying and tying it to values and all that kind of stuff is just super powerful. And I think, for the dads listening, that's on you, right? You're the head. It's on you to set the tone. It's on you to take the ownership and the leadership of those types of concepts and pushing your kids into those situations like Codey was talking about, to challenge them and help them grow effectively. Ultimately it's on you. So like it or not, that's the job you signed up for when you became a dad. So take action.